Well, this is gonna be a short one. I don't think I'm over-exaggerating too much by saying this may be one of the most boring games Nintendo has ever made. I'll be honest, when the game was shown off at the Switch 2 Direct, I had no interest whatsoever, and much like Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, I only bought it because I thought I'd make a good video, and would be a fun enough game to play on my Switch 2, much like Welcome Tour. Boy, was I wrong. So let's not waste any more time and just get right into it.
Drag X Drive is exactly what it looks like. Wheelchair basketball. The tricks you can do and the like also gave me Rocket League vibes, which I wouldn't be surprised if this was Nintendo's very late attempt to try and copy that game. Though the real focus of this game is to showcase the Nintendo Switch 2's mouse controls. Upon the reveal, I honestly thought it was a little tone deaf of Nintendo make a wacky game about, well, basically Paralympic basketball. Even Nintendo was scared of that as they emphasized these are not wheelchairs, but vehicles. To my surprise though, Nintendo has gotten praised for representing wheelchair basketball and giving it an overall positive light.
Quality of the game not included.
I guess it just goes to show that you yourself should not get triggered on the behalf of other people because you don't really know how these people will feel at the end of the day and you're just as much in the wrong to assume. So the game itself, you control the game using both Joy-Cons, using a mix of motion controls and mouse controls to move your robot with his wheelchair across the court, getting the basketball and shooting to score. You can also jump and do various tricks on the half pipes on the court, which can net you partial bonus points when you score. The games can be 2v2 or 3v3 basketball, whichever you feel like. When you go online, you have the park, which works pretty much like it does in NBA 2K, where you gather with other people and play pickup games. Unlike 2K though, both online and offline has additional bonus challenges through obstacle courses you can do. And that's where this game has its biggest issue. There's basically no content. I just explained everything there is to do, and from my experience, the online community for this game is pretty much dead. I was only able to find a couple of matches and otherwise resorted to bot games. The basketball gameplay itself is pretty fine. As far as I can tell, the tricks you can do don't lead to any super high skill ceiling like that of Rocket League, but this is Nintendo we're talking about. This is intended for a casual audience, not esports gamers. You got a 3-point line for 3-point shots, saying all of the shots are worth 2 as you would expect. You can charge into the ball carrier to draw it free, and you can perform things like jumping by pressing a button and holding onto the wheels, then flicking the Joy-Con. This is also how you can tilt. While the content is lacking, I think the actual biggest hurdle for this game are the controls. I don't mean directly how you control the wheelchairs in the game, they control pretty nice, I mean the fucking Joy-Cons. As I've said before in other videos, the Joy-Con 2's mouse controls look like total ass when you try to use them on your legs like Nintendo claims you can, and they're not very comfortable to use on a table because they're so thin. I'd be having everything work fine for a bit, then suddenly a challenge I was doing would be ruined because of a missed input or false input screwing me over. Not to mention, in the tutorial things weren't working for me smoothly at first, and at times it gave me Sonic Freeriders vibes. Maybe that jaded me for the rest of my playtime, but when things have issues in the tutorial, it is immediately an uphill battle to sell me on it. Maybe with more time I could overcome the shortcomings of the Joy-Con to have a good time, but again, online servers have basically no one online, so what's the point? Unless this game has new content coming in the future, this game is not worth your $20, not even close. At least Switch 2 Welcome Tour was only $10 and had plenty of mini-games and content to even just barely justify the purchase if you went through with it. If you are seriously dying to have a glorified tech demo for the Switch 2 mouse controls, go waste your money on Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I do got a video on that game if you're interested. I still feel that it should have been free or at least a Nintendo Switch Online bonus, but I did end that video by saying it was fine enough if you did buy it. I really think you shouldn't bother with either though, just save your money for actual games and not these novelties. I mean hell, Silksong released like 2 weeks later for like 15 bucks.
So I did say it was going to be a short video today. I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things after that unplanned hiatus. I've been recording footage for the next retrospective, so that'll be coming along soon. But I do got a few other games I want to look at. I do still need to get to Prime 4, and there's some other small games like this I can cover the time with. But the next video I plan to go ahead and look at this patch. So I hope to see you all then. Have a good night.